Welcome to the Adventist Home, Section 2, A Light in the Community. And we learn from Chapter 4. The topic says far-reaching influence of a home. Far-reaching influence of the home. The Christian home is an object lesson. The mission of the home extends beyond its own members. The Christian home is to be an object lesson, illustrating the excellence of true principles of life. And such an illustration will be a powerful good in the world. As the youth go out from such a home, the lessons they have learned are impacted. Nobler principles of life are introduced into other households, and therefore uplifting the influence works in the community. Therefore, it will have to bring light to community. So a Christian home will be able to reach up very far and bring a light to the community. The home in which the members are polite, courteous, Christians exerts a far-reaching influence for good. Other families will mark the result attained by such a home, and always will be willing to follow the example that is set, in their turn guarding the home against satanic influences. The angels of God will often visit the home in which the will of God bears. Under the power of divine grace, such a home becomes a place of refreshing to one weary pilgrim, and by watchful guiding, self is kept from asserting itself. Correct habits are formed in such a home. There is a careful recognition of the right of others. The faith that works by love and purifies the soul stands at the helm, presiding over the whole household. Under the hallowed influence of such a home, the principle of brotherhood laid down in the Word of God is more widely recognized and obeyed. So in such a home, they are able to realize the rights of Christians, and they are willing to they can be a good example, therefore bringing light to the community. Influence of a well-ordered family. It is no small matter for a family to stand as a representative of Jesus, keeping God's law in an unbelieving community. We are required to believe in epistles, known and read of all men. The position involves fearful responsibilities, and we can make it. Even in times of these where we have unbelieving community, we can try to be an influence to such a community and bring light. One well-ordered, well-disciplined family tells more in behalf of Christianity than all the sermons that can be preached. Just one family that stands faithful, that follows Christ and welcome Christ to be their guide in their family. A well-ordered family, a well-disciplined family can stand or can conquer many sermons. It is better even to have a good life rather than to preach sermons more of godliness. Such a family gives evidence that parents have been successful in following God's directions and that their children will serve Him in the church. Their influence grows, for as they impact, they receive to impact again. The father and mother find helpers in their children, who give to others the instruction received in the home. And the neighborhood in which they live is helped, for in it they have become enriched for time and for eternity. The whole family is engaged in the service of the Master, and by their godly examples, others are inspired to be faithful and true to God in dealing with His flock and His beautiful flock. By their good example, it will be an inspiration to many to be faithful and to be true to God. The greatest evidence of the power of Christianity can be presented to the world is a well-ordered and well-disciplined family. This will document the truth as nothing else can, for it is a living witness of its practical power upon the heart. The best text of Christianity of a home is the type of character begotten by its influence. Action speaks louder than the most positive profession of godliness. The action that you do in your home will speak louder other than confessing of how godly you are. Our business in this world is to see what virtues we can teach our children and our families to possess, that they shall have an influence upon other families, and not negative influence, but positive influence. And thus we can be an educating power, although we never enter into a desk. A well-ordered and a very well-ordered, disciplined family in the sight of God is more precious than a fine gold, even than the golden wage of a well-ordered family. A well-disciplined family is more precious than even a fine gold in the presence of God. Wonderful possibilities are ours. Our time here is short. We can pass through this world but once. As we pass along, let us make the most of life. The work to which we are called does not require wealth, does not require social position, does not require great ability. It only requires a kindly and a self-sacrificing spirit and a steadfast purpose. With that alone, you are able to fulfill what is required for you here on earth. A lamp, however small, if kept burning, may be the means of lighting many other lamps. Our sphere of influence may seem narrow, our abilities small, our opportunities few, our requirements limited, yet wonderful possibilities are ours through a faithful use of the opportunities of our own home. If we will open our hearts and homes to the divine principles of life, we shall become channels for current of life-giving power. From our homes we flow streams of healing, bringing life and beauty and fruitfulness, where now are barrenness and death. If we can be able to follow these principles, then we are going to make it in life. God-fearing parents will diffuse an influence from their own home circle to that of others, that will act as did the leaven that was hid in 3 measures of a meal. Faithful work done in the home educate others to do the same class of work. If we can be able to keep our disciplined family, we are not educating ourselves alone, but it is an inspiration to many. The spirit of fidelity to God is like a leaven, and when manifested in the church, we have the effect upon others, and will be the commendation to Christianity everywhere. The work of the whole soul soldiers of Christ is a far-reaching as eternity, a far-reaching to the community. Then why is it that there is such a lack of missionary spirit in our churches? Is it because there is a neglect of home pity? Of course, that could be the most thing. That in our church today, we have lack of missionary spirit in our churches. We don't have those spirit that they were. If we could at least raise a godly children, live by an example, it could be a missionary enough. We don't even have to make crusades, but it could enough for us if we can all in our daily life live as an example. May God help us to remain strong and live as a good example to others in a positive way, motivating them, encouraging them, inspiring them to come close to Christ. The influence of a ill-regulated family. The influence of a ill-regulated family is widespread and always disastrous to whole society. It will accumulate in a tide of the evil that affect families, communities, and government. It is impossible for any of us to live in such a way that we shall not cast an influence in the world. No member of family can enclose himself within himself, where other members of the family shall not feel his influence and the spirit. The very expression of the countenance as an influence for good or evil. His spirit, his words, his actions, his attitude towards others are mistakable. So everything that you hold to do, your spirit, your attitude, your words, they will either be good or evil, and these things you can never hide from someone. The actions that you do to others, the attitude, and the ones that you talk, they can never be mistaken. They always reveal you as you are. If he is living in selfishness, he surrounds his souls with a malarious atmosphere, where if he is filled with the love of Christ, he will manifest a courtesy, kindness, and tender in regard for the feelings of others, and will always communicate to his associate by his act of love. A tender, grateful, happy feeling. It will be made manifest that he is living for Jesus and daily learning lessons at his feet. Receiving his light and his peace, you will be able to say to the Lord, "The gentleness has made me great." And in a family where you are filled, the soul is filled with the love of Christ, they will always be able to manifest these things: kindness, courtesy, and tender hearts, regardless in regard for the feelings of the others. You will be able to communicate and associate by the act of love, a tender heart, always grateful, and a happy feeling. May God help us to remain strong, to be a well-disciplined family, a well-honored family, and to raise children unto the right way. May God bless you. Let's meet on the next chapter.